So sorry I ran a little bit late in with my getting ready, actually. My bad. Okay, so how's everybody doing today? I have good news topics today, so I'm hoping that if you're interested in hearing a little bit of good news, that you might join us. It's TGIS. Thank goodness it's Shane. I hope you like the orange. It's going for a little bit of a different look. Not sure if I should only use it for Halloween. What do you think? Oh, goodness. All right. So, 2019, let's face it, for the average person looking in, it didn't look so good, right? Countries were on the verge of collapse, people taking to the streets, some in peaceful marches and, extinction rebellions, others in violent clashes with security forces, popularism rearing sort of its ugly head, bigotry warming its way into algorithms, power corrupting absolutely, the powerless ignored, or the locked in cages on the border. Trade wars, surveillance capitalism, and re educating camps, war torn spots, mirrored in conflict, a global economy incapable of fixing its excesses, the partisan battle lines hardening, and the lies becoming more brazen. An entire species fouling its own nest, the emissions still rising, and wildfires burning and losses cascading across ecosystems astronomically, right? So, fortunately, this was not the only news for 2019, and there was good news too. It didn't always hit the mainstream, so I'd like to bring a little bit of it to your attention. I seriously thank you for joining, and hello and welcome. Hi, Mark. TGIS. Yay. Okay. So let's start with the surveys revealing that the population of the humpback whales in South Atlantic region now number 24,900, almost 93% of the population size before they were hunted to the brink of extinction. Super cool. The Chinese authorities began preparations for the creation of the largest national park in the country's history, covering an area of 27,134 kilometers. Home to 1,200 wild giant pandas. Super cool, right? Who wouldn't want to go check that out? That sounds amazing. Hi, Gianna Marie. How you doing? What do you think of the orange? No, I don't know. It's okay, right? For today. All right, carrying on. All right. So the indigenous Guarani community of Ecuador won a landmark case against the oil companies this past year, 2019, protecting 180,000 hectares of their land against exploitation. So that's pretty cool. In 2019, the United States passed a new law outlawing animal cruelty. That is amazing. Applaud, right? All together now. But for real, who wants to buy cosmetics that are, animal tested? It's just cruel, right? So the China actually issued guidelines starting from 2020. Non-animal testing will be the preferred method for cosmetic products. And in Australia, cosmetic companies were banned from using the data derived from animal testing. So hopefully preventing them from doing any of that either, right? You know what? I just think like there's really other ways you could do testing. You could be paying a little piece to the public and asking people who might be interested in doing the testing. That would be a really healthy way. That way you get candidates that are both useful and they want to be doing what you want to be doing to find the good and the bad, the pros and the cons to your products, right? So Let's go on. Dolphins are breeding in the Potomac River in Washington for the first time since the 1880s. Whale populations exploding off shores of New York, and 100 seal pups have been born to the shores of the Thames 60 years after the river was declared biologically dead. So that, my friends, is super cool. I thought so anyway, and deserve to be shared. All right. In July of 2019, Ethiopia smashed the world record for tree planting, led by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. Millions of Ethiopians planted 353 million trees in 12 hours. Wow. That's insane. That's an astronomical number right there. 353 million trees in 12 hours. Wow. Just saying. For real. Hi, Rosalinda. A big step for mankind. I totally agree. Well, a few of those, right? Totally agree with you, girl. Gianna Marie, we are pushing through into positivity for 2020. Because I'm all about showing y'all self-love, and as hard as that is sometimes, even on my own time, we're gonna push forward and be positive because that's what I am. That's who I am. So, hi Tambra, Mrs. What's up? What's up? That is amazing, right? 353 million trees in 12 hours. I mean, damn, I thought I did a lot 12 hours. That, my friends, is amazing. Totally deserved to be shared too, right? Okay, carrying on with more good news. The city of Seoul shut down its remaining dog butcheries this year, and the Netherlands became the first country in the world to eliminate all stray dogs, not by euthanasia, but through education, free veterinary care, and rehoming. Also very cool, super cool. In Kenya, the poaching rates have dropped by 85% for rhinos and 78% for elephants. And in the last 5 years in South Africa, the number of rhinos killed by poachers fell by 25%. The fifth annual decrease in a row. And in Mozambique, one of Africa's largest wildlife revenues went an entire year without losing a single elephant. So kudos to them. I hope they keep up the good work, and I hope they help to repopulate some of those animals for us, you know? All right, in Belize, which is not too far from Canada and pretty much a piece of paradise. If you've never heard of Belize, please look it up. It is amazing. The waters there are gorgeous. So Belize doubled the size of ocean reserves around the world's second largest barrier reef. South Africa increased its proportion of protected waters from 0.4% to 5.4%. Argentina created 2 new marine parks in South Atlantic, bringing the total protected areas to 8%. So kudos to everybody in that tidbit. Carrying on to a piece of good news from Canada. Canada became the first country in the world to protect more than 10% of its ocean waters after the government partnered with Inuit custodians to create a vast new conservation zone in the Arctic. The Tuvangiut Marine Protected Area and the Taluptiap Imanga National Marine Conservative Area. Seriously, probably did not say that very well, and I'm really, really sorry. I'm so bad at names sometimes. Especially if you've never actually heard somebody else say it. I can't even imitate it, you know? All right, in India, reported that its population of tigers, which is my favorite animal, has risen by over a third since 2014. And in Siberia, an unprecedented collaboration between China and Russia has paved the way for the new transitional park from Amur leopard and the Siberian tiger. So cool. I mean, so cool. Has anybody else ever seen the videos of people who actually have lions and tigers as pets and stuff? Well, I don't think they're really like pets, but you know what I mean. They have like this huge land space and they're able to allow these animals, to roam around in it, and they feed them, and they're they have a relationship, and a close one. Sometimes you even see them like hugging the tigers. Like, I'm just like, wow, that is so cool. That is so cool. Like my dream job, my dream adventure. But I'd probably have a heart attack getting there. I don't know. I'd have to be very sure that that lion had had a lot of food before it saw me. Laugh out loud. Too funny. Hi, Linda Kay. How are you? You just saw rhino yesterday at the zoo. They are huge animals, are they not? Like, holy cow. Yeah. All right. So since 1990, France's forest areas have increased by 7%. In Nepal, satellite images revealed that forest expanded from 26% in 1992 to 45% in 2016. Costa Rica announced it had doubled its forest cover in the last 30 years. Half its land surface is now covered with trees, a huge carbon sink, and a big draw for tourists. So super neat place, it sounds like, to go and see, like just a vast amounts of nature and trees and whatnot. Super cool. A new study revealed that the status of the Great Britain's carnivores had improved markedly since the 1960s, thanks to the conservation efforts. Otters, pine martens, badgers, polecats have staged remarkable recoveries. So again, more of the wildlife. Here's another tidbit from Canada, which I thought was really cool. So Canada banned the trade, possession, capture, and breeding of whales, dolphins, and porpoises. Now, passed a Fisheries Act containing a legally binding requirement to rebuild fish populations, and unveiled new standards for marine protected areas, banning all oil and gas activity, as well as mining, dumping, and bottom trawling. So that was really neat to see that Canada's doing its part too. Let me see, am I missing any comments? A white rhino, so cool. I don't know if I've ever seen a white rhino for real. Right, let's carry on. So China's tree stock rose by 4.56 billion between 2005 and 2018. Deserts are shrinking by 2,400 kilometers a year, and forests now account for 22% of the land area. Interesting. The U.S. Senate had passed its most sweeping conservation legislation in a decade, protecting 1.3 million acres and withdrawing 370,000 acres from land available to mining companies. So save the trees, right? I mean, we have to think about these things now. We should have always been thinking about them, but it's taken the scientists to bring it to our attention that things are happening in the world as far as the global warming and as far as natural disasters, that we need to rebuild the world at the same time as we're living in it and kind of taking pieces of it, right? Such as the trees to build beautiful log cabins or burn wood fires and just stuff like that, right? So giving back to the world is a really nice thing to see. So according to the United Nations, the global HIV-related deaths have fallen from 770,000, third lower than when in 2010, when 1.2 million deaths were recorded. So that is phenomenal. Protect yourselves, though, folks. Honestly, you don't want to end up with something that you have to medicate and take care of for the rest of your life if you could prevent it, right? All right. The Senegal became the first African country to begin providing free treatment for women with breast or cervical cancer. I'm somebody who suffers from cervical cancer. I have suffered from it since I was 19 years old. And it's just been something that I've managed. It used to be something that I was really scared of because as soon as you hear that word cancer, it just freaks everybody out, right? I mean, all honesty. But the cervical cancer cells are just abnormal cells that many, many women are affected by. If you have smoked at a young age, if you have had sex at a young age, if you have given birth at a young age, all three of those things will make you more susceptible to getting cervical cancer cells. And I mean, you can do laser treatments and just sort of monitor it, but let's Google this right now. Oh my goodness, Sherry. Come on. Can't type. So I'm just looking up at the American Cancer Society here. It says they estimate the for cervical cancer in the United States for 2020 are about 13,800 new cases of invasive cervical cancer will be diagnosed, and about 4,290 will die from it. In Canada, cervical cancer was frequent, but now ranks 11th for incidence and 16th for cancer-related mortality, 1 in 3. Approximately 1,300 women were diagnosed, and about 350 women died from the disease in Canada during 2011. I wonder if they have any stats for 2019. That's crazy. Well, I guess my time could be up literally at any time, and I don't really know. It says 1 in 3, but the mortality is the number of deaths due to cancer. An estimated 1,350 women died. Women will be diagnosed with cervical cancer in 2019. An estimated 410 will die from it. So, like I said, it is something I've suffered from for a long time, like since I was a teenager that I was diagnosed. So, who knows, right? That's the future. Nobody knows the future. Tamber says that 3 rhinos are killed every day from poachers for their horns. What do they do with their horns? Why are their horns so useful? Why are they so valuable? Poaching for rhino horn has escalated in recent years and is being driven to the demand for rhino horn in Asia countries, particularly Vietnam. Rhino horn is used in traditional Chinese medicines, but increasingly common is its use as a status symbol to display success and wealth. So, um, rhino left to die by poachers who cut off her horns will survive. So they don't necessarily die, but I mean, they're definitely defenseless a little bit without it, right? Because that's part of their tools to help protect themselves against other large animals. Am I, you know? During any dehorning exercise, a stub of the horn will remain, although poaching is made less profitable. The sad reality is that poachers will still kill for the horn due to its high value. Dehorning is an intrusive procedure. Like any embolization, there is a risk to the rhino during the operation. Well, that is difficult to read about, you know. I am personally against all of that, you know, when you're hunting, especially animals that are on the brink of extinction. I mean, have a little respect, right? You don't want to be the reason why, or part of the reason why, you helped wipe an entire species off the planet, right? You want to give it a chance to reproduce, and there's so many different animals. There's no need to just single out one or three. Like, I mean, I know giraffes having problems for a while. Tigers were having problems for a while. There's all kinds of posts of people hunting these animals, but like, if you're not going to use the meat and stuff to it, I'm kind of against just killing for the fun of killing. That's not cool. Um, I don't know. What do you guys think? Hi, Pam. Just saw a meme that said if trees gave off Wi-Fi signals, we would plant them by the millions. Unfortunately, they only give off oxygen we breathe. Yeah, but I mean, that oxygen is important. Sheesh. Too funny, honestly. I think they can make memes out of almost anything nowadays. It's really just somebody's um, quick-witted thoughts on a picture they see, right? You made it to the live, Maria. Thank you for coming. I'm so excited to see you. I feel like my glitter is a little chunky. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I should have blended this better. Oh well, whatever. Carrying right along. Okay, so the UN released its largest or latest figures on pneumonia, showing the number of children dying from the ultimate disease of poverty has increased or decreased. Sorry, from 6,410 per day in 1990 to 2,216 per day in 2017. The Philippines passed a Universal Healthcare Act entitling all of its 107 million citizens to health insurance and medical treatment, and Malaysia started providing free health care insurance for the country's poorest 40%, providing coverage against 36 critical illnesses. So that's pretty awesome that they did that for their people, you know. Between 1990 and 2019, cancer mortality rates fell by 18% in Argentina, 26% in Chile, 14% in Colombia, and 17% in Mexico, and 13% in Venezuela, corresponding to almost 500,000 avoiding deaths. Wow. I'm just going to warm up my tea quick. I'll be right back. Oh, my neck and back. All right, so the stroke rates for US adults over the age of 65 have decreased by one third each decade for the last 30 years. New diabetes cases have declined by 35% in 2009 and the longest decline since the government started tracking the statistics. And under the Affordable Care Act, nearly 2 million diabetics have now received access to health insurance. Way to go, US! Woohoo! What else would be fun to share? So the biggest story was in Save the Children's 2019 Global Childhood Report, showing that in the last 20 years, children's lives have improved in 173 out of 176 countries. Compared to 2000, today they are 4.4 million fewer child deaths per year, 49 million fewer stunted children, 130 million more children in school, 94 million fewer child laborers, 11 million fewer girls forced into marriage or married early, 3 million fewer teen births, and 12,000 fewer child homicides per year. Naturally, of course, this was front page news everywhere. Save the Children's 2019 Global Childhood Report. That's pretty cool. That is super cool. I know I'm using that a lot today, right? But that is super cool. Hi, Mary Beth. Hi, Hazel. Hey, Shady Lady. The glitter under my eyes, but this does to me. It looks a little chunky on the top, but thanks. I don't know. I kind of was just playing with colors and playing with the glitter today just to make a different look a little bit. So I tried the orange. I'm just in kind of the middle, actually. We got started about 25 minutes ago, 26 minutes ago here. And we've been covering good news topics that have happened all around the world, you know? So I thought it would be nice to share some good news, don't you think? There's so much bad and wrong that's happening everywhere. I just thought it would be nice to do a happier, upbeat, positive, good news live. Yeah, the animal abuse is pretty horrific, actually. Anytime now that I think about animal abuse, all I have in my mind is Luca Magnotta and what he did, and all of that story was just phenomenal, in my opinion. Like, I tip my hat to John Green and his helper Body Movin', because in all honesty, that was the neatest that they were able to depict and figure out who he was and where he was in the world. And, they did that all through online and stuff. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, anytime I hear about, animal abuse now, he's the first thing that pops up into my head. Oh, check out this stat. China now has an equal number of girls and boys in primary and high school, and more than half of the university students are women, up from less than a quarter in 1978. I don't know if any of you all remember that they had a ban on families only having one child way back when, and it created for like 3 million people to be without a chance for love, kind of thing, because the population was so imbalanced. There was like 3 or 4 or 5 women for one guy, and that just wasn't going to happen, right? So interesting that it's rebalanced out now. Now this generation that's in junior school and high school will be able to carry on and continue to balance it. That's pretty neat. So poverty in the United States reached its lowest rate since 2007, with 1.4 million people leaving the poverty in a single year. And poverty in Canada reached the lowest level ever recorded, 9.5%, down from 15.6% in 2006. Kudos to North Americans. Whoop, whoop. Just kidding, but trying to be cute. Too funny. All right. So, a new survey across 167 countries said that tolerance towards LGBTQIA plus, people had risen in almost every region of the world in the last decade. Super cool. Love the acceptance. It's awesome. The number of people killed in wars around the world reached its lowest level in 7 years. Battle fatalities have fallen by 43%. So that is pretty cool too. This one will pertain to our true crime channel. The number of people incarcerated in American prisons declined again to 1.48 million, down from 1.61 million. California banned the operation of private prisons, finally removing the profit motive from incarceration. I'm not going to lie, I did not even know that was a thing. I did not know that you could have a private prison. That is kind of crazy. Wow. Does that shock anybody else? Or is it just me? Oh, yeah, they totally helped with the catching of Luca Magnotta. I completely agree with you, Maria. But what a phenomenal story, right? Take my hair down for your daughter. What? Why, you want to show her my hair? Oh my goodness. All right, I will entertain the idea. Thank you for the compliment. That's another crazy thing I was watching on TV recently, actually. I don't want to rip apart my ends. I already ripped my hair earlier. I wonder if this is just setting me up to lose my viewers because everybody thinks I'm being unprofessional playing with my hair. Meanwhile, I've had a viewer ask me if I could show their daughter. Oh my goodness. Seriously, people. Okay, it is what it is. Voila. Anyways, carrying right along. Yeah, no, the Luca Magnotta case was so awesome. I loved the way that they were able to dissect the picture. I mean, there was a lot of other people too that were interested in catching him after he posted that video, One Boy, Two Kittens, on the dark web. Like this guy, he seemed to have some kind of twisted ulterior motive going on because, he was saying that he was selling these tapes or that somebody else was kind of puppeting him, making him do these things, and that he was scared of this person. Meanwhile, the whole person the whole time was just made up, super, super, super weird. You know what I mean? Normal people don't think like that. So there's clearly whatever. But he knew what he was doing was wrong too. There's no excuse here at all. And thankfully, when he asked for psychiatric evaluation and stuff, he was deemed that he was legally able to comprehend the difference between right and wrong. He was smart enough to hold back particular evidence that would identify the victim that he had in Montreal. He was careful enough to be transferring countries. He was sly enough to fit in and act normal amongst the public, and didn't matter what country he was in, you know? Really scary, right? But sick too that he thought that any of that was a good idea. I can't make this go any brighter. Oh, my neck and back are just killing me, you guys. Global executions fell by almost a third last year, reaching the lowest figure in at least a decade. That was the protesters for wanting to change the death penalty and stuff, right? We've talked a little bit about that. The statistics assesses known executions worldwide except in China, where figures thought to be in the thousands remain classified as a state secret. Following a change to its anti narcotics law, executions in Iran, in a country in which Amnesty believes the use of the death penalty is rife, fell by 50%. Iraq, Pakistan, and Somalia also showed a significant reduction in the number they carried out. As a result, execution figures fell globally from at least 993 in 2017 to 690 in 2018. Hmm. What does it say? 2019 here? It was not all good news. Amnesty found increases in executions in Belarus, Japan, Singapore, South Sudan, and in the US. Thailand carried out its first execution since 2009 when Sri Lanka's President Srinsa declared that he would resume executions after more than 40 years, posting an advert seeking executioners in February 2019. Wow. I'm sorry, but that's got to be one heck of a hard job to do. God damn. Taking that and ending somebody's life, no matter that they've done something wrong. But I mean, everybody has. We've talked about this topic before, right? That I mean, it's a little inhumane to ask another human being to be the one that takes the last breath of somebody, even if they did, even if they did do something heinous and horrible. But on the other hand, it's just like, well, then you got to pay, all the taxpayers have to pay to keep this person alive and feed them and stuff like that. So, like, I get both sides. It's quite the battle. Hi, Tanya. Did I hear about the girls' fight? No, I did not. Let me Google it. They got into a physical fight on Instagram. What are they fighting about? Hmm. Let's see this. Ouch. Damn. Well, that's too bad. All over sleeping with somebody's man. Crazy. I don't think that he's anybody special, though. I honestly think that they're just fighting over trash. I mean, he's just completely messed those people up mentally with what he's done. So messed up. I totally agree with you, Tanya. It's unfortunate because they were so susceptible at a young age, being kind of brainwashed into like you're going to be famous and blah blah blah. Meanwhile, he was only the only person that was ever going to be famous out of it. Um, but it's sad that he's made some shitty decisions along the way, as many of us have made shitty decisions along the way, but when you're somebody that's in the spotlight, so to speak, you really do have to be careful of your steps and what you're doing and stuff like that. And there was no reason for him to be sleeping with girls as young as they were. So I disagree with his actions. I really could see that he was, using his fame in a negative way, to encourage these girls, into his world and space and stuff. But he wasn't ever intending on following through to help any of them to get famous. He wasn't intending on bringing them to the studios and helping them to get noticed and stuff. Like, he was keeping them locked away in rooms and doing things with them on camera that were pretty horrific. Like, dude, like, whoa, seriously. So messed up. But anyways, that is not good news. But yeah, thanks for pointing it out, Tanya. Definitely crazy. All right, where are we at here? Okay, so research from the UCLA showed that an estimated 10,000 LGBTQIA teens in the US have been protected from conversion therapy in states that have banned the practice since 2012. And abortion became legal in every state in Australia. Oaxaca became the second state in Mexico to give women autonomy over their own bodies. And in the United States, abortion rates reached the lowest levels since Roe versus Wade in 1973. The FBI said the United States violent crime rate fell again last year and is now half as high as it was in 1991. Young people are now 6 times less likely to be victims of violent crimes than they were in the mid 1990s, and the property crime rate continued to decline too. So that's pretty cool. So, 4 years after it was won the dubious title of the world's dirtiest city, air pollution in Delhi has dropped by 25%. In Beijing, air pollutants fell to their lowest level ever recorded. And in Madrid, a ban on vehicles in the city center reduced levels of nitric oxide by 38%. And in London, pollution fell by a third inside a new low emissions zone that was launched at the beginning of the year. Super cool. Ouch. Well, this is a neat piece. So the good news, clean energy jobs grew by 3.6% in the United States last year, adding 110,000 new jobs, and the dramatic reduction of coal in the country's energy mix has reduced deaths from air pollution and has cut the cost of damages by more than 200 billion. That's a huge number. The world's largest car supplier, Bosch, said it will be fully carbon neutral by 2020, making it the first major industrial company to take that step. Right on. And the largest retail company in the world announced this year that it will run entirely or on renewable energy by 2030 and will be fully carbon neutral by 2040. That's pretty cool. The world's fifth largest economy, California, reached its 33% clean energy target 2 years ahead of schedule, and fuel sales for cars are officially decreasing. Wow. The world's fourth largest company, Germany, or largest economy, Germany, generated more electricity from wind, water, sun, and biomass in the first 6 months of 2019 than from coal and nuclear. Oh, very cool. The world's second largest economy, the United States, generated more electricity from wind, sun, water in April than from coal for the first time ever. Again, super cool. Automakers finally put money on the table collectively, committing 225 billion for electric vehicles in the next 5 years. Volkswagen, the largest car manufacturer in the world, led the way with a 44 billion electric offensive and promised to abandon the development of all new fossil fuel cars by 2026. Hmm. You know what's interesting is where I live, there is actually already an electric gas station. So it was built just this past year, and it's sitting right like up the street from where I live, kind of thing. So it would be super cool to own an electric vehicle. You'd have to map out where you could recharge though, or buy something that could recharge you along the way. In June, Canada followed in the EU's footsteps, announcing a similar phase out of plastic by 2021. That's already started because places charge for bags, plastic bags, if you want them now. And there's places that are switching out the plastic straws to be paper straws now. So, Thailand in 2019 announced in November that it would phase out microbeads, cap seals, oxo-degradable plastics by the end of the year and will ban all plastic bags, cups, straws, and styrofoam by 2022. Pretty cool. Hi, all things Wendy Lee. Good afternoon. Hope you're doing good. We're just chilling, just finished going through some good news. Oh, Interesting. Is this leaving the European Union? Is that what you're talking about? I don't know. There's all kinds of talk about people separating from countries they're already a part of. And here's my thoughts on that. I feel like the reason that that's even an attempt right now is because of the economy and the fact that every single body of government has overprinted their currency, overextended their exports and imports, and they've sort of maxed everything out. And there's going to come a time where, something might just crash, right? And nobody's going to be able to help the other country. That's how I see that. If there's somebody who separates and is their own type and has their own currency and their own laws and rules and all that stuff like that, it may give the governments a chance, the ones that well, they've all done it. If you Google research the printing of currencies by countries, you will find every single country has overprinted their currency. There's actually places, I believe, in Africa right now that they overprinted it so much that there's literally like $100,000 bills and $50,000 bills that are worth like nothing, that are worth like 5 cents or nothing. Like they're useless. So people who have spent their lives saving up suddenly got screwed over because their savings was worth nothing. So everything that they had worked so hard for crashed down. And like that's supposedly what's set to happen far in the future. I don't know how far in the future, but with inflation the way that it has been going and the fact that almost every single product that's on planet Earth right now has all minimalized, right? They've lessened their product and oftentimes they've raised their prices. So eventually I think that's going to keep happening until things just crash, and it's going to be like $50 for one apple, and it's going to be ridiculous. You know what I mean? If you look up the economy and certified printing of their currency, and that includes Canada, folks. Like, honestly, I remember I actually had a video about it. Like, if you look even into the history of what currency was supposed to be for, currency was supposed to be for silver and gold. And those are the only things that were traded way, way back when. Um, the currency that was printed was, in essence, just um, a borrowing symbol to show that you owe for the gold or the silver that you needed for whatever, right? So you would get given this promissory note, which was the currency bill printed kind of thing. And you were to bring that back with the gold and silver when you were able to pay it back kind of thing, And then that just got out of hand they didn't have enough gold and silver anymore. And so they just started using the currency printing bills as money, basically. It's kind of a profound, big mushroom if you look at the huge picture of it. But I mean, it's super cool to know where everything came from and why it occurred and why was the first bill printed and what it was for. It was super cool to learn all of those things. That's what kind of got me into the whole Bitcoin and all of the coin world and trading and stuff like that. Like, that's a pretty cool way to profit, in all honesty. You love my typing? You're funny. Norma, hi. I'm being a lazy bum today, still lounging in bed. You did shower, though. That's awesome. So, yeah, I think that it will probably be something beneficial if some of the places within countries right now are seeking to separate. I believe that will help the economy, in all honesty. Um, I'm concerned though with what will happen with the far end future of it and our children's children, and what, what will happen with the world if too much of this keeps happening, or too many people place and separate and all of that jazz. I don't know. You don't, I guess there's no way to fully predict, right, what the future is going to hold, or what's going to happen, or what will crash or what won't, and blah blah blah. um but even just with like basic life, I noticed this past year when we had the Colorado low hit us, and we had a huge storm that took out pretty much most of Manitoba. Not gonna lie, like there was a lot of Manitobans that were without power because of this storm, right? um, Stores were shut down and stuff. There was no way to buy anything unless you could get out of the city to go to a different city that might have power still, right? So interesting when you think of it in that small sense, but a grander scale of a country doing that to and to another country, and dividing and being able to go to one for some help for the other, right? I mean, it could be a really good thing, right? But what I noticed was when everything kind of crashed down like that, there was no internet, there was no power, there was no sales, there were no, there were no ways to save yourself, if you will, unless you were able to go to another city where they had power, and you had heard through someone else who had just come from there or something that they have power there. That's what I had heard from a couple people that lived here, is that they went to Winnipeg and they were able to get a hotel and have food, warm and light, and all that kind of jazz. But so it could be a good thing, right? That there's separation, there's new economy, there's new currency, there's new coin, there's new laws, there's a new place, so to speak. But too much of that might bring some other issues later on. So it's kind of an interesting topic. I'm glad that you brought it up. And what do you think? What's your thoughts on it? Like in Canada, that happened with Quebec, right? Wanting to separate from Canada and do their own thing kind of deal. How do I make it orange? What are you talking about? Are you talking about my makeup or what? Or what do you mean orange? I know you're talking to all things Wendy Lee. You know what? I'm going to go make one more cup of tea. We'll hang out for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to let you guys go for the day. I am supposed to get together with a friend today, so. Wendy typed my name. It's orange. Oh, she highlighted it. That's what happened. She did the at symbol before punching up your name. That's cute. Sorry, hang on a second, guys. Oh, all right. It's nice that you have friends to hang out with for some support. Yeah, but I also don't like to just dump my issues on them. Like Carl's like, oh, it's totally fine if you want to talk to me about, the stuff that's happened to me in my past or whatever. But that's not, that's not the way I want to have every friendship kind of thing. How do I keep my couch so white? Um, Why do other white couches yellow or something? I don't know. I keep it out of the sun. I do vacuum them. I keep my cats off of them. They're not allowed to go on the couch. Although every so often I get up and I find Minu's gray hairs on a piece that he's been sitting on. Hang on. Hello. Yes, hi. How could you forget? I wrote it down on my calendar. I booked you in. Oh. All right. Well, just send me a message when you're done, and we'll go from there. Okay. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Bye. Oh boy. All right. It's so pretty and white. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'm like looking at it like I don't really do anything special. I do vacuum it, and I have spilt some things on it in the past, but magic erasers work amazing. Oh, you would have had a stain. See, I have stained it. I see. I'm careful. I'm like, okay, we're not just gonna have meals at on the couch kind of deal. It's either got to be on, like I have. You can see this right here. This thing. This thing. It's actually a table, so you can stand it up to have your meal on, kind of thing, so you don't spill anything. Um, But I have dropped things in the past on the couch, and I'm just like, right away, immediately, I jump up and I grab things to clean it. I make sure that it's a clean towel. I make sure that I've got stuff to clean it with right away. And I'm not going to blow my little secrets all over the online, but ta-da! You use magic eraser on your eyes to take your eyeliner off? Why would you use that? No, 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 Norma. Oh, yes, the Weinstein case. I did look it up too. Yeah, no, we talked about it, but here's the situation. I understand that there are a lot of people that are affected by sexual abuse or. Hang on one second. I am getting chilly. Sheesh, hang on. Arr. Okay. Hi, Sarah Perry. How are you? First time I'm seeing your name here. Probably naturally neat. I'm not neat. It's just kind of the way that I like to keep things. Although, don't get me wrong, there are areas in my home that are very disorganized. I have a junk drawer and it is full of crap. But I do like to keep an organized feng shui type feel where things are balanced and just nice. And that's. Yeah, no, Norma, we were just talking about that Luca Magnata. I've actually already done a video on it. I'm going to hold on to this because I'm cold. But yeah, we were talking about that. We have seen it. Once you type in the first two letters of someone's name, YouTube will pop up the names with those letters and you can click on the one that you want. Oh, yeah. That's a good way to describe it, too. Yeah, baby. I'm chilly. Chilly, chilly, chilly. Yeah, no, mine is a little bit dusty right now. You can see. I have to get underneath everything. I just did a deep clean of my home though not long ago. Where you move things and get in behind things and stuff like that. But I did it in my back house area. I did it in my kitchen and a little bit in my bedroom. So I haven't done it in the living room yet. But I do want to get behind the couches and everything. Yeah, they didn't show a whole lot, but it was pretty disturbing to see what Luca Magnata thought was funny or was good to post and stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, how the heck was he getting paid from the dark web for videos like that? I'd love to know. If anybody knows that, please share. Because how did they not know it was him sooner is kind of what I mean. You talking about Luca Magnata? I do have a Swiffer. I have a mop and a pail. I have my vacuum. I do a few different. I haven't busted out the mop and pail in a while because I just use the Swiffer and vacuuming, but Swiffers are pretty cool. They work well, especially if you have hardwood floors. It's a quick, fast way to make it look pretty again. Oh, that's starting to warm me up. I'm gonna grab my closed-toed slippers. Just ripped carpet out of the living room, going to sand and stain floorboards. They are decent floorboards. Well, that's good. My baseboards are like this thick. They're huge. See, this is a really good link here that was recently posted at the end of 2019 about the economy stuff. I'm going to post it up for those of you that are interested in looking more into some of that. No, that's just so sad for real, though. Well, that's just sad. Of course, for those that already know the details of it. Hey, Vincina, it is sad. I can't handle stuff about kids. It just drives me crazy, you guys. Oh, yeah. Carpet and dogs will definitely retain the odor of them. But yes, crying emoji for sure, Norma. 100%. I have wood floors and hate them at the same time. You love them and hate them kind of thing. Hold, hold me. For the same animals and kids, right? Honestly, it just drives me nuts. Like how anybody thinks that's a good thing, how anybody likes doing that, how anybody could sit by and video it and put it up for anybody else's viewing. It's just so unbelievable. I can't handle it. I really can't handle it. Like it pisses me right off. Like have you nothing better to do than to hurt an innocent child or an innocent animal? Like god damn. No, yeah, you can't get the smell out of carpets for sure, Norma. When I had carpet, my cat threw up more for some reason. Interesting. The thing with animals is horrible. They're so tiny and they're so cute and they're so innocent. And they just look with their innocent eyes and they can't even say anything, you know? Like that's so not cool. It just makes me want to hurt somebody when I see something like that. Like so maddening. You know, I really, really liked the Rescue Inc. guys. Like they were pretty solid, you know? Does anybody not know who that is? Rescue Inc. biker gang. Standing up for abused animals against their owners, basically. Protecting the animals no matter what kind of thing. And I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool anyway. What a good cause, you know? I don't know. It just makes them look so like sexy, don't you think? Like you look at something like that and you're like, oh, you're helping the world and you're such a guy. I think it's pretty cool, you know? You don't know who the Rescue Inc. guys are? They were actually in helping with that Luca Magnotta case online. They joined the Facebook group and started helping to find this guy. I'll send you a link here, Perry. Yeah, no, they meant business when they were getting involved and breaking up like dog ring fights and stuff. Like they were really like in your face approach type deal in order to save these animals. I mean, who wouldn't automatically be a little bit intimidated seeing some of these dudes coming up? But the fact that they were like using their pull and their muscle and their meanness to save animals is just so like so adorable. Like seriously, so adorable. They just look badass. Honestly, would not want to mess with them in a bad way. I'm not surprised to hear about the domestic violence between them for the Doulos case. The divorce attorney for Kent Mawheeney's wife speaking out on the new allegations against the trio has been and continues to be concerned for her safety. The protective order, yes, I remember hearing about that. She believed Doulos was indebted to Mawhinney and that she believed Doulos was working on behalf of Mawhinney to get rid of her. Stated that she believed that Mawhinney wanted her dead. Arrest affidavit. Two men found what they described as human grave found on the property of the Windsor Rod and Gun Club. Mawhinney, a founder and former member of the club, had reached out to a member in March 2019 wanting to know how to get back into the property. Wow. Alleged gravesite, East Granby. Discovered one day before photos was trying to usher my client away to his home. Go to a fresh start. I really truly don't understand what is with these people who help the the criminal to follow through and rip somebody away from this world, like the kids that have no mom and stuff anymore. Like, yes, I have heard about the Epstein case too. Another shocking headline, right? Netflix is doing a documentary about the Aaron Hernandez. Why do I feel like I've already heard about that? I feel like I've already. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Did you look it up, Sarah Perry? It is awesome, isn't it? Some badass mofos coming to take your animals and you're not going to do anything about it. That's kind of crazy. Anyway, what was sort of intriguing about it all was the fact that they were involved in the Facebook group to catch Luca Magnotta. They look really tough, right? But sort of cute with the animals. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, so cool. Oh, boy. So I just wanted to say this is going to be like a tidbit for next week. Next Sunday, we're going to be talking about crimes that have occurred in my area, like where I stay. And I'm going to run down 2019 basically of it. So that'll be some cool statistics and some cool facts to listen to if you're interested in the true crime aspect of things. So I'm definitely going to talk about crime in 2019 for all of us Manitobans and what we've been through in the past year and share that little bit with you guys. Back in the 90s, where I lived, was actually the murder capital for like a handful of years running. It was pretty crazy for a little while. We've beefed up with all kinds of um, cadets and police and sidewalk and bike police and all kinds of combative modes to the crime. So I'll be excited to share some of that with all of y'all. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. And that'll be straight from Statistics Canada. I could also do some of the North Americans because I do have so many viewers from the United States as well. But yeah, stay tuned for that for next week. Sorry, I was reading a couple things there. Hi, Sean. How are you? You love the lashes I'm wearing? Well, thank you. True crime. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We love true crime, and I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Nothing happens. I think you might be surprised if you look into it, to be honest. I mean, not everything hits the news, but it certainly does get registered. These are actually just glue-on lashes, folks. Really simple to do. Anybody could do them. I saw a really, really profound post from somebody in Australia helping the animals from wildfire. And it was a post showing the inside of the person's vehicle. And there had to have been about 10 or 12 koala bears, little baby ones. I mean, they were just looked so scared, but they were just kind of hanging on to the car and they were okay at that time. But I think everybody in Australia's, our hearts going out to them because fires are so hard to combat, never mind, get control of. And you need so much more people to get to one area in order to hold it down and keep it under wraps so it doesn't continue to spread, right? So your cat Gary says hi. Hi, Gary. um, but I find that the fires are super, super destructive, right? I mean, everything just gets charcoaled to ashes and dust, and you have to start all over and build from the ground up, kind of thing. You have new trees, new everything, basically, right? Honestly, I feel like the wind, the water, and the fires are seriously the three most destroying natural disaster type things. You know what I mean? It's warm and windy in New Jersey. It's cloudy here, but at least it's not snowing. But yeah, we've covered a wide range of topics today. It's kind of cool to be able to do this face to face live and bounce all over the place. It's not very structured, which is kind of what's fun about it, right? We can bring up any kind of topics and talk about it for a minute or two and move on to a new topic, kind of thing. Sunny and nice in California? Right on. But yeah, I do. I love our Sundays and how we can just sort of randomly chat about whatever. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be right back. It's so cool that some of you guys are closer to each other than you realized a few minutes ago. You're moving to Arizona. Wow, that's a huge move. You're not alone to be thinking like that either. I've been wondering myself if I'm not stunting my growth in life by staying where I'm comfortable. I wonder if a big move would be, my hair's all over the place for real. I wonder if a big move would be something I should do. A new perspective, a new place, a fresh start. But it's scary, right? It's scary to go from the things that you most know into a zone that you don't know, right? That is so cool, Norma. I hope you have like the safest travels and that you get set up quickly and make it home. I don't know. I think like throughout my life, having been in foster care and never being able to really fully plant myself anywhere in my teens, anywhere, you guys, I was bounced and moved all over the place. So by the time I turned 18, I was really ready for some stability, some sort of structure, a home I could call my own forever kind of thing. That was my mentality, right? I was a teenager and I was sick and tired of bouncing all over the place and not really having any place to call home. So when I moved on my own, I was, really like, yes, I made it kind of thing. And it was shortly after, about a year after I moved on to my own, I decided to move in with a best friend of mine, cut some costs on rent and utilities and stuff, and share it with somebody. And I mean, her and I had been friends since I was, a teen. And so we knew each other well. And it just seemed like a good fit. She wanted to get out of her mom and dad's. And so, yeah, we jumped into an apartment together. And seriously, ever since I was 18 years old, I've just always sort of moved around, bounced around. I've lived in a few places for a handful of years and then I'm moving again. So I want to stay stationed and stuff, but at the same time, each move brought on new adventure, brought on, new beginnings in a sense. And that's always fun to set up and that's always fun to do. It makes life exciting, but I worry if on the other side of wherever I'm going to, I don't get everything right and I don't have it set up properly to comfortably move, that it's going to be, more of a headache than fun, you know? I think that's what kind of is like preventing me. Well, you guys, it's been really, really fun to hang out and chat. We'll be back again on Wednesday. We're going to carry on with the Weld County case files for our Wicked Watts Wednesdays. I'm going to be thinking of another theme to go with after we finish with the Weld County case files. So if you enjoy the structure of having a live that is going to have, certain kind of content, or you enjoy the routine of a series type of situation, I plan on continuing that after we complete the Weld County case files with Christopher Watts, and go on to another type of series where we can discuss different kinds of cases and stuff. So I'll let you know and keep you posted on all of that. But we don't have too much further to go. Let me just double check now. Just want to see where exactly we're at and how many more we need to download here. Okay. We're at dash S48. So we only have 18 files left to go, guys, and then that's going to be done. So 18 files left to go on the Weld County case files, Christopher Watts case, and then that's going to be over, and then we're going to go on to a new series. I haven't quite decided exactly what it's going to be called and what's going to be entailed, but I will keep you posted on all of that, okay? Yeah, it's been a really fun, interesting, wide range chat, for real. I love seeing that some of you guys are interested in the same cases that I'm interested in, and it's often nice to hear different perspectives, although I often feel like I'm the only one sharing. So please don't hold back, especially if you're asking me about a case. I would love to know your thoughts too. That goes for you, Tanya Hicks. You're the one bringing up some cases saying, what about this and what about that? What do you think about those cases? What do you think about those the Instagram fight, those girls fighting? What do you think about the Weinstein case? What do you think about all of the Epstein, the cases that are hitting national news right now? I would love to know what you think about it, So it's interesting, yes, to hear my perspective and thoughts, but I want to hear yours back. That's what this is a give and take in conversation, right? So lovely to have the questions. Lovely to have you join. Please, please, please share the platform, share my channel with your friends and family, your social media. I would love for more people who are interested in true crime to come and join us and chat, So if you enjoyed hanging out, give it a like. I appreciate the form of support. And if you're someone new and you haven't yet subscribed, I would hope and love for you to hit that subscribe button. We have a lot of interactive conversations here, and it really truly doesn't matter where you come from, what you think. You are welcome here, and you are also welcome to share your opinion here. Now, that being said, keep it clean, folks. That's not a free-for-all. But yes, I definitely love hanging out. I love being genuine with you guys in the camera. I love hanging out and chatting, and yeah, if you're somebody who wants to know whenever I do something on the channel, hit the notification bell, select the all option. There's a couple of options there. So some of you may not want to know absolutely everything that I do. Some of you may want to know some of what I do. And there's options for you to click in the notification bell section. So always nice chatting with you ladies. And I hope to see you all come back Wednesday for a Wicked Watts. 18 case files left to go and we are done. And we'll be back here again next week, Sunday, 1 p.m. Central Time, to do our random chat like this. But I plan on filling you in on some of the Stats Canada, Stats North America crime that we dealt with in 2019. And I look forward to sharing all of those tidbits with you all. And it is TGIS. Thank goodness it's Sherry. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your weekend. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you again soon for another true story with me, Sherry Wiens. Bye for now, folks. Have a great day.